The conflict between Israel and Palestine is one of the most protracted and emotionally charged in the world. Its roots stretch back to the early 20th century, fueled by competing claims to the same land.
After the Holocaust, the international community supported the establishment of a Jewish state in British-controlled Palestine. This decision displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes.
The 1948 Arab-Israeli War solidified Israel's existence but deepened the divide, creating a Palestinian refugee crisis. Subsequent wars have solidified Israel's control over the West Bank and Gaza Strip.
Despite numerous peace initiatives, a lasting solution remains elusive. The core issues, land, security, refugees, and Jerusalem, remain unresolved.
The human cost of this enduring conflict is immeasurable. Generations of Israelis and Palestinians have known nothing but tension and war. The loss of life is staggering, with countless civilians caught in the crossfire.
Infrastructure in Gaza and the West Bank has been repeatedly destroyed. Homes, schools, hospitals, essential pillars of any society have been reduced to rubble.
Children, the most vulnerable members of any society, often bear the heaviest burden in times of war. In Palestine, children have grown up amidst conflict, their lives irrevocably shaped by violence, displacement, and loss. Many have witnessed horrors no child should ever see.
Their playgrounds have become battlefields, their schools turned into shelters, their childhood stolen by a conflict they did not choose. The psychological impact of living under such conditions is profound and long-lasting.
Many Palestinian children suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. They struggle to sleep, experience nightmares, and exhibit signs of emotional withdrawal. The constant threat of violence deprives them of a sense of safety and security, robbing them of their childhood and jeopardizing their future. Ahmed, a 10-year-old boy from Gaza, is just one of countless Palestinian children whose lives have been torn apart by the conflict. Ahmed lost both his parents in an airstrike that destroyed his family home. Now orphaned and deeply traumatized, Ahmed lives with his elderly grandmother in an overcrowded refugee camp.
I miss my parents so much, Ahmed says, his voice barely a whisper. I don't understand why this happened to us. We just want to live in peace.
Ahmed's story is not unique. It is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of the conflict on the lives of innocent children. Their stories, often unheard and unseen, are a testament to the human cost of this enduring conflict. Echoes of trauma. Mental health in the shadow of conflict. The psychological scars of war run deep, impacting entire communities for generations.
In Palestine, the mental health crisis among children is reaching epidemic proportions. Years of exposure to violence, displacement, and loss have left many struggling with PTSD, anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues.
Limited access to mental health services in the occupied territories exacerbates the problem. The stigma surrounding mental illness prevents many from seeking help, leaving them to suffer in silence.
The international community must prioritize the mental health needs of Palestinian children and provide the necessary resources and support to address this crisis.
Life on the precipice. daily existence in the occupied territories. For Palestinians living in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, life is a daily struggle for survival and dignity. The Israeli occupation, characterized by checkpoints, movement restrictions, and the expansion of settlements, has created a system of segregation and inequality that permeates every aspect of their lives.
Palestinians face restrictions on their freedom of movement, access to education and healthcare, and economic opportunities. This daily reality of oppression and uncertainty takes a heavy toll on their mental, emotional, and physical well-being.
The situation in Gaza, under Israeli blockade for over a decade, is particularly dire. The Strip faces chronic shortages of essential goods, including food, water, and medicine. The healthcare system is on the brink of collapse, and unemployment is rampant. A glimmer of hope, humanitarian efforts, and international support. Despite the immense challenges, there is hope. Numerous local and international humanitarian organizations are working tirelessly to provide aid and support to Palestinians in need.
They are delivering food, water, and medical supplies, rebuilding homes and schools, and offering psychosocial support to those affected by the conflict. The international community must increase its support for these organizations and ensure that humanitarian aid reaches those who need it most.
However, humanitarian aid alone cannot resolve the underlying political issues at the heart of the conflict. A just and lasting peace based on a two-state solution is the only way to end the cycle of violence and suffering, breaking the cycle. The path to peace and reconciliation. Achieving a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict requires dialogue, compromise, and a genuine commitment to peace from both sides.
It necessitates addressing the root causes of the conflict, including the occupation, settlements, security concerns, and the refugee crisis. International actors, particularly the United States, must play a more proactive role in facilitating meaningful negotiations and holding all parties accountable to their commitments.
A lasting peace will require more than just political agreements. It will also necessitate reconciliation between Israelis and Palestinians. This process must involve addressing past injustices, promoting empathy and understanding, and fostering a shared vision for the future. A call to action, raising awareness, and demanding peace. The plight of the Palestinian people, particularly their children, must not be ignored. We have a moral obligation to speak out against injustice, demand accountability from our leaders, and support efforts to achieve a just and lasting peace.
Educate yourself and others about the conflict, its history, and its impact on ordinary people. Amplify the voices of Palestinians who are often silenced or marginalized. Support organizations working to provide humanitarian aid and promote peace and reconciliation.
Contact your elected officials and urge them to prioritize a just and peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Together, we can help break the cycle of violence and create a future where everyone in the region can live in peace, security, and dignity. Share and subscribe, please.